Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. You guys know why you are here. Before we get into this, I wanted to quickly shout out Winter Wonderland. I thank you so much for the positivity, the support, you understanding how I convey my thoughts and everything else. I greatly appreciate it. And the same goes back to you. Like, I enjoy your content. I enjoy what you have brought to the platform with your knowledge, your expertise, and your opinions on, life, reality TV, and everything. So I just wanted to give you that shout out because I'm grateful and I always enjoy your content as well. So today we're talking, Carlos King has come out of the bushes, you guys. He's come out of the bushes to confirm that Love and Marriage Huntsville is coming back. However, he did not say that there was a new season in his comments, and he is getting dragged, you guys. So he posted on Instagram, and I don't know why he does this. He always waits like a day later. He always waits a day after, the big announcement and all these things, the articles and Showbiz cheat sheet, I believe, about Sunny and Destiny and all these things. And, you would have thought that Carlos would have made this post yesterday. No, he waits until today, you guys, because that's how important Love and Marriage Huntsville is to him, right? So it says the following in the caption. It says, "Now y'all can stop harassing me for an update. Love and Marriage Huntsville returns Saturday, November 2nd with the rest of the season." Well, somebody needs to tell the people at the marketing, or whoever's doing the promos for this show that, this new season caption isn't it, Carlos. It's a continuation. And then people are dragging Carlos and the comments because they're like, why is there so many breaks, right? And so one more thing I wanted to get into, because I didn't post this cast photo yesterday, but before we get into that, also Mel's manager, you guys, also had said this on Instagram from D, said, and another one, congrats to the whole Love and Marriage Huntsville cast, showrunners, and producers. Through the ups and downs and everything in between, y'all are still standing tall. This is not an easy business. Melody, Cherie, Miss Princess Yvonne, keep killing the game. What an also feat you've accomplished in the game based on a concept. I'm so proud of you that you never quit nor gave up when people couldn't see the sad from behind the smile. You always manage to garner strength to fight another day for your dreams. Huntsville, stand up with some fighting arm emojis, you guys. So that came from Mel's manager, you guys. And, in the comments, so you'll notice that this is the press, the cast photo, quote unquote, that they're posting. However, I believe Marquez, Trish's, sometimes a estranged husband, if you will, posted about this show. I believe Letitia was liking the comments about the show coming back. However, there are a lot of people who are wondering, per this cast photo, where are the Fletchers and where is Stormy and Courtney, you guys? Well, Stormy has been alluding quite a few times in the lives that she's been doing that she's done with the show. However, even if Stormy is done with the show, I wonder if they're still going to have a way to close out her storyline or close out what Stormy, is or isn't, going to, resolve with the cast via the reunion, right? Because they kind of did a nice little send-off with Tiffany and Lou. So I wonder if that's going to be the same thing, that we'll hear like a last hurrah, if you will, from Stormy at the reunion. And that will be her final bow to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, speaking of Stormy, she's currently in New York because she is hosting an influencer event because she is releasing, of course,
that signature perfume that's $125 that, again, nobody can tell me what it smells like. Nobody has any idea other than the people who've purchased it, but she's holding an influencer event there for the signature perfume. And as of late, I mean, she's really, people talk about Mel not promoting Love and Marriage Huntsville. Stormy is MIA when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville, you guys. I mean, you wouldn't even think she's on the show. She's done more promotion for the Bell Collective than anything else, as far as I'm concerned, right? And so, you know, people are also wondering where the Fletchers are and why Destiny is next to Martell, like they're a couple. Why is Destiny a part of this, you know, cast photo? Why is Ken and Trisha there over the Fletchers? And I feel like, you know, again, this is Carlos King wanting to focus in on quote-unquote the core six, but if the quote-unquote core six are all not bringing the heat, are not bringing the storylines, you have to pivot elsewhere, which is why you wasted so much screen time on, you know, Sunny, Moses, and Destiny, and Trisha and Ken in the first place. But you can't pivot back now. Oh, now we're going to revamp the second half of the season because the ratings didn't go well. So now we finally have a storyline with Maurice's DUI. Now we finally have a storyline with Marceau versus Martell and blah. And it's like, enough already. You should have had a cohesive approach to what this season was supposed to be from the beginning, right? But you wanted to be petty, you wanted to be messy, you wanted to get caught up in the YouTube minutia of things, and it completely derailed the show. And speaking of YouTube, it seems that Carlos King is, plagiarizing something else yet again, you guys. So Carlos King has plagiarized yet somebody else's concept again, and we're going to talk about it. So there have been plenty of places, not just on this platform, but other reality shows have done this as well. And that is, you know, recapping a season or recapping past seasons or whatever and getting, you know, fresh perspectives. You'll notice recently within like the past couple of seasons, what Bravo will do is they will recap the actual season as it's going on, because it's like all of these people were getting YouTube channels. They're like, well, wait a minute, why don't I just utilize my own housewives? But it wasn't like a separate show that was airing on Bravo. It was something that like you had to either go to like bravo.com or go on Twitter or whatever. It was seen as like extra scenes, like extra, you know, content for more like behind the scenes stuff on the show. It wasn't like a full on show. Well, allegedly, apparently, you know, I told you guys Love and Marriage Detroit is going on hiatus after a handful of episodes, literally. And that is because there is allegedly a show that is yet to officially be announced that is supposedly Carlos King interviewing with somebody from Love and Marriage Huntsville. And they're going to, it says in the description of the show that they're going to recap this past season. And I don't understand. I don't understand. So I presume this is only going to be a handful of episodes until the show comes back. We know currently this is being done with Bell Collective with, Selena from Bring It. She's going to be on this season. So they're recapping with her. And they're recapping with the dentist from season 1, who I miss on the show. But nonetheless, I don't understand why this is happening. We've rehashed this show from top to bottom, up and down, inside and out, side to side, diagonal ways, horizontal ways, perpendicular ways. Why do we need a recap show on this nonsense? We already have, the YouTube and the, social media sector of things exposing what's not being shown on the episodes, and then still reacting to what is on the episodes, and then the social media component in itself that the cast, provides us content, right? And then we have Carlos King becoming a blogger. because he's seeing the clicks and views that it's getting for other people, in particular his friend Funky Dineva, and is like, oh, I want a piece of the pie, right? And now all of a sudden, you're now doing a redundant show, because there's people who specifically now, since we've been on a hiatus, we've been on a break, who are like, hey, let's go back and review some of the previous episodes. Let's pull receipts from previous episodes to kind of piece together why we're here now, right? Or people are just recapping older episodes just as part of content to continue the Love and Marriage Huntsville thing going for their platforms. So why, Carlos King, does there need to be a full-on show on OWN to recap what we've already known? We recap everything that's happening on their show practically every day. There doesn't need to be another show on top of this, and I can't wait for the ratings to come in for that. And then there's speculation on who's going to be a part of this, if there's going to be any other YouTubers, such as Carlos King's friend Funky Dineva. And here is the thing with this, right? Here's the thing. Besides it being overkill, right? Besides it being overkill, and Carlos King obviously trying to milk this show dry, you guys, and trying to prove to OWN how much people are really interested in this show. And he's trying to base this off of the fact of his numbers on YouTube and base this off of the fact of the content creators on YouTube. But what Carlos isn't realizing is why the viewership is so high on YouTube and why people are tuning into the commentary on YouTube is because they're not tuning in to the show, but they're supporting the content creators that are still watching the show, or at least are abreast on what's going on the show and like to hear what their opinion is, whether they agree or disagree with them. If they're a fan of their content, they're going to tune into that. That doesn't translate, though, into the ratings. Carlos King, more people are watching your YouTube than they're watching the show. That should tell you everything you need to know, that this was just another money grab. This was another opportunity to try to, do a last-ditch effort. Hey, let me put pause on all the promotion I just did for Love and Marriage Detroit so that I can try one last-ditch effort to try to salvage, the bare bones end of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I don't understand, what do we need to recap, Carlos? Even during the million hiatuses this show has, everyone's aware of what's going on because the cast cannot stay off the internet. The cast cannot stay off of a podcast. So what is there to recap on the show? Can you make it make sense? This is the only cast that I have seen so much activity that has gone on outside of the show when the show's not even airing, and even more so when the show is airing, and the bulk of it, we're never going to see it on the screen. So what is your recap show going to entail? And the only conclusion I can come into, besides this being an obvious money grab, is you want, again, another platform to slant the opinions. That the attempts on YouTube to try to sabotage certain people, try to strike certain channels, try to silence certain people, did not work out the way that you wanted it to. Let's keep it a buck. It didn't. The attempts to, storyline-wise, try to attack the Millimeters and the MEL supporters and use that as a storyline for the first half of the season, which I presume would be what you're recapping, which is, to me, idiotic. Because you're just creating more outrage and more people to not tune in. See, you had this bright idea to tell OWN Discovery that, hey, if we put together this recap show for, the next 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, that is going to generate interest for people to tune back into Love and Marriage Huntsville, and we can save the show, we can save the ratings. No. No. And then there's interest because look at how many subscribers I have on YouTube with my Messy Mondays with Dr. Heavenly. And look at how many people, are subscribed to, people like Funky Dineva when he was reviewing the show and all of these things. We can get this show back on track. We can put Love and Marriage Detroit on hiatus, even though they just came back after however long they were off for. And this is going to build the interest because I'm doing, we've got this thing going now with Bell Collective. No. Carlos. Again, tone deaf. You don't understand. Trying to milk any and every single ounce of Love and Marriage Huntsville, but not addressing the issue at hand. It is DV Awareness Month. And your biggest problem is highlighting Martell, who was convicted of revenge P in the 3rd degree of DV harassment communications. And you have him on a full platform. So you thought that you were going to bamboozle the people from switching him out and, from the white suit into a medium suit, that looks like something that came out of your closet, you guys. That we were just not going to notice Martell was there. No. Well, if this was Real Housewives or any other show, we would not see Martell again. We would have not seen Martell again, and that would have been the end of that, you guys. Unless he was dating another cast member on the show, right? Otherwise, we would not have seen him ever again the moment Mel filed for divorce. That is how it goes on the Housewives shows. Carlos, the same Housewives shows that you like to boast and brag about that you were an executive producer on. So this would have never flown if you were still at Bravo. That is the biggest problem. Number one. Number two, you have an entire cast that refuses to show their real lives. And they like to hide behind, everyone else's madness. And for several seasons, that was Mel and Martell. But now they have to pivot since Mel and Tel won't even film together, obviously for legal reasons and other things. And Mel had told y'all for the past couple of years, y'all are not about to just use her for a storyline. Y'all are going to need to earn this check. Well, part of earning the check, though, has also resulted in a reduction of episodes because you guys refuse to be transparent. You would have more fans if you were honest with the people. Instead of inserting yourself into the Sunny Moses Destiny drama, instead of inserting yourself into the Trisha, Martell, and Marquez and Kenny drama, and actually gave us something to, like you for. To give us something to tune into the show for. But again, trying to repurpose the show and trying to regurgitate all of these old things about the show to try to garner interest, it doesn't make any sense, you guys. All it is doing is it's going to just force more people to black out November 2nd. I need Carlos to understand that all of this shenanigans, all of this tomfoolery is going to result in people not wanting to tune in at all. And that's the piece I don't think he fully gets. He thinks that he can continue to shove down our throats what he wants the show to be because he says he doesn't care what people say about the show. He's going to do the show his way. But you're not even listening to the constructive criticism. And then you want to get upset and take up for certain cast members when they get dragged. But you do the mute challenge on when your quote-unquote star of the show is getting dragged and hurt the most. And people want to have amnesia and pretend that they don't remember or they don't recall X, Y, and Z happening to justify their hatred. No. Keep the same energy across the board. But stop playing in the people's faces and thinking that, there is something of substance that's about to happen here. When the reality of it is, we need to keep it a buck. We need to keep it a buck that the show's on its last legs. And all of this extra that you're doing, Carlos, is really just turning more people off. You refuse to get rid of Martel on the show. You refuse to have people show their real lives. The people that you want to protect on the show have zero storylines. And you continue to force feed us things that we don't care about. And this cast photo is prime example of how tone deaf everything is. The core 6, Carlos King, is dead and gone. They're not going to coexist because they don't like each other. Mel and Tel are never going to be the same again because he was too much of an idiot to not keep his bleep in the household. And then he had an opportunity to co-parent and blew that up too, because his mentality was, if I can't have Mel, nobody can. And has been on a terror ever since. That is not going to work on a reality show, Carlos. And then you have the cast taking sides. Nobody's forcing them to, but they're doing it. So it's awkward as a viewer seeing all of this chaos, Carlos. So how is another show trying to discuss and dissect what has already happened on this show, how is that going to garner interest for November 2nd when people are already dragging you for the million breaks this show keeps taking? We've taken a break for the change in the weather, you guys. We have taken a break for the upcoming daylight savings time. We have taken a break, you guys, for all sorts of foolery. And every time the show comes back from yet another break, the ratings are in the toilet because people have checked out. So again, Carlos, you think that you're doing people a favor, but really you're pissing the people off. And you have the people that are just over all of the nonsense, as far as I'm concerned. So where do we go from here if you refuse to listen to the constructive criticism, right? And that is, we're going to see how these last 15 episodes play out, plus the reunion, you guys, which will be at some point next year. And we will find out for certain on whether or not the show will be able to recover or rebrand or rebound in any capacity, or this could potentially be the final 15 episodes. This could potentially be the final season. Because notice Carlos King didn't say in its post that this was a new season or that anything got renewed. No. He is betting everything on this nonsense recap show to push forward the viewership. But I thought that's what Messy Mondays was supposed to do, Carlos. I thought that was supposed to garner the interest. But people still tuned out because what you and Dr. Heavenly were doing was disrespectful. So nonetheless, we have another thing that we're throwing at the wall to see what sticks. We're throwing the kitchen sink and everything into another venture and hoping that this is going to, finally move the needle. And it's enough already, as far as I'm concerned. But nonetheless, we'll see what happens. And there is that. I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want you guys to react to this. What do you guys think of, this new cast photo, the Fletchers missing, Sonny and Moses? I didn't even talk about them missing because I just think that was just a whole lot of tomfoolery. I think everybody got gaslit for zero reason. And, also where Stormy is. Is Stormy really done for good? Or is she still going to pop up in some episodes? Is she still going to pop up in the reunion? And what do you think of Carlos King's latest plagiarism? Trying to repurpose and milk dry Love and Marriage Huntsville reactions and recap shows. And now has one allegedly, tentatively airing on OWN at the expense of throwing his own other show under the bus, Love and Marriage Detroit, with all that promotion spent to try to garner interest for Love and Marriage Huntsville to come back in a few weeks, you guys. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.